If I haven't told you guys already, I just keep adding stuff to this goddamn shelf. It's probably gonna break because it's held in by nails, but I don't care at this point. It looks fancy. What's up, YouTube? I didn't want to record today. I've been sick. Let me give you the range of events. I went on vacation. My last day of vacation, I got super sick. I got back. I had to go to my real job, and I didn't have any sick days left at my real job, so I had to work the entire time, I love my real job, but God, I could not talk to anybody that day, or the days after. So the entire time I'm at my real job, I'm like, I run my own job, so that's one of the reasons why, you know, like, there wasn't, like, a boss to be like, hey, you need to go home. But anyway, yeah, so I was sick. I wanted to make something for you guys. I couldn't. I wasn't feeling good. I had a couple really fun videos planned, so this one will be kind of an easy one. Sponsor me, please. Please sponsor me one day. Halo Outpost Discovery. I don't know if you guys have seen this in your advertisements, or if you've seen this from a friend or their Facebook page or something in between. We went to Chicago, and that is where I went with my fiance. I'm kind of gonna get into it a little bit, only because when you Google it, which I did not know myself, there is a controversy involved with it. And there is reports of it being a massive disappointment to the fans. I'm gonna give you my take on it and tell you guys what I liked, what I didn't like. From somebody that's ran events before, one of the things I used to do and still currently do is run Comic-Con events, like pop culture. Cut to February of this year, I get an advertisement. It was like, hey, y'all checking out Halo, Master Chief, Cortana, Noble 6, boom, Halo event. Y'all excited? And me being stupid and waiting at the dentist for my fiance to get out of the dentist, I'm like scrolling through. I'm like, all right, man, that seems pretty dope. I'm like, I'll buy tickets. What the hell? So, paid. Here we go. Here's the fun part. Paid $360 for 2 VIP tickets because, if you guys don't know this about me, I am an avid collector of Funko Pops. If you haven't seen the many that I have unboxed, because disgustingly, I don't unbox mine. I'm looking at probably 150 of them in the corner of my studio area. God, I'm so lazy. I literally still have not bought blinds for this. I don't know why. I'll do it one day. Anyway, so I bought tickets. I told my fiance. She was pretty excited. I was excited. Getting a VIP ticket, one of the big inclusions is Funko Pop from Halo. It says it was a Halo Outpost Discovery exclusive, which was really cool. I was like, I don't get too many exclusives. I try to. Like, I have a lot of collections that are built and done. My job gives me pretty good access to them as well. Going there, I'll get one more in my collection. That'll be super awesome. So, here's the fun part, right? So, cut to last week. The event took place around August 2nd. We bought VIP access, so VIP came with 2 additional hours of show floor time, which was cool. You get in, it was an hour before and an hour after. They gave us exclusive VIP ticket holding time, so it was just us and other VIPs, which included people from the news, people from websites like IGN. Got exclusive VIP merch, like they gave you, again, the gold Master Chief Funko Pop, the drawstring tote, UNSC dog tags, and so, like, it was cool too, because they actually gave you a 6 months Xbox Game Pass, which is really cool, because it's usually, like, I think $50 if I'm not mistaken. So I was like, you know, rock on, that's pretty awesome. Let's dive into it. Alright, so we get to Chicago. We wanted to go to Chicago for a really long time, so that part was awesome. Like, we went to the Field Museum. If you haven't been there, check out Sue, the giant dinosaur. Oh my god, the T-Rex skeleton. Alright, so moving on. I bought 2 VIP tickets for Friday. Catch an Uber, we get down there. It's called the Donald E. Stevens Convention Center. A very big center. Like, I looked at this thing when me and her were pulling up, and I'm like, dude, this is, like, really big. Did they book out the whole thing? It looked like they booked out the whole thing. So we go in, immediately right off the bat, they were like, conventions upstairs. And we're like, okay, cool. So they didn't book out the whole thing. They booked out just the upstairs room. let me give you some insight first. When doing conventions, I've only done 1 or 2 in my time, and I'm still learning, but I've helped out with a lot of them, and I've helped get vendors, and I know a lot of vendors. Again, maybe a different story. Okay, something could have happened. I could be wrong, but the whole purpose of the event was to have enough Halo events there to keep guests entertained while still having enough vendors on the vendor floor to give guests some kind of something to do when they're done with the Halo experience. So, I go in. It looks amazing. Like they give us our swag bag. They give us the Halo Funko Pop, which is, they'll show you a picture. I think I actually posted a picture on the Facebook page I use, but they gave us a cool bag with a bunch of stuff, which was awesome. I was really excited. It was really high quality. The dog tags probably could have used a little more quality, but again, nitpick. The bag was amazing. The Funko Pop was amazing. Then we get to the floor, and I see the entrance, and I'll post a photo here too. It looked really cool. It was like classic Halo. Like it said Outpost Discovery or something similar to that on the top. And the entrance was grand. It was huge. It was like awe-inspiring. We get in there. They start off with the Halo exhibit, which on your left side was full-size replica Warthog. In front of you was like all of like Master Chief and like holding his weapon, like a big giant statue, which is really amazing. On the right side was an elite. Here's where it kind of goes down. So the cosplayers there were really cool. They were awesome, really helpful. But they showed us that there were QR codes around the event. And to my acknowledgement, I didn't realize that Halo had an app for this event that you can use to scan and give you points in real life merchandise, which I was like, that's pretty awesome. Like, so I go to download the app. You guys probably know where this is going. I go to download the app. I can't open the app. So at this point, I'm like, okay, weird. You know, maybe, a lot of people using it, maybe they weren't ready for it. My fiance goes to download the app. Doesn't open. So I'm like, okay, still weird. Then the first QR code where everybody's scanning, and everybody around us is saying the exact same thing. They're like, the app's not working, like it's not scanning, it won't let us do anything, it just keeps crashing. That was the takeaway from most people that were there. I only seen like 1 or 2 to get the app actually functioning. Again, not a big point of the event, but like something where you can kind of see, something's amiss and it's starting to kind of pile. So we were in early. We were VIP, so we got in early. We go to the first events. They have a VR game. It was like a combat VR like simulator of Halo, and it was you and 2 other people as Spartans, and then the other team as Spartans. Nothing too, if you've used VR before, it's about the basic VR. It doesn't do anything like spectacular. You kind of feel like you're in a Halo game, but like everybody only gets energy pistols, which again, it's VR, and VR is still an up and coming thing, so I don't want to beat in too hard, but it wasn't like, that's like a neat tech demo. I went to the shooting range. Well, I was going to the shooting range, and then I noticed that the shooting range it had like a big sign, and like it looked very fancy, and then you walk up, and it's like some cardboard targets, and you get a Nerf gun. And I don't mean like a Halo Nerf gun, like you get a yellow toy Nerf gun that's like does not look Halo brand, like this big, maybe. Like just a little pistol that you have to actually cock back. And the panels are really cool, I'll give them credit. Like, it was 343 kind of talking about how they've developed the game. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Pretty fun. I'll give them credit. It was fun. So we move over to the computers, which were awesome. Another thing, like, they did really well. There was a lot of computers for everybody to kind of test out the Halo games on computer, because now they moved over the Master Chief Collection to the computer. So that was cool. One of the big things they advertised was the meet and greet with the voice actors of Master Chief and Cortana, which would have been really cool, right? It's about $150, and they're ending the signings at 3 o'clock. So we go over there. This is after we kind of explored around a little bit. We go over to the conference center, which we can't, for one, there was no clear direction on where the signing was. It said room, like, 40 or something like that, and oh my god, every person I asked could not tell us where it was at. So we finally find it. Takes, like, probably 15 minutes. We get over there. The line for this, mind you, is probably a quarter of a mile to, like, half a mile. It was, I mean, I can't measure it and tell you for exact, but it was ridiculous. So we get there. Again, we look at the line, and Lindsay, my fiance, goes to the front, and I'm in the back of the line just holding our spot. And she's like, there's no way we're going to be able to get to the front and get stuff signed. And I was like, okay, like, why? And she's like, I just went around the corner and asked people how long they've been in line for, and they were in line since 1:10. And they were maybe, like, 20 people ahead of us in this line that still had, like, 100 and something people ahead of that. So we were discouraged. We were like, okay, like, you know, and everybody was pretty upset in that line. Like, there was a lot of people, like, not happy. So we left the line. We went back to the convention floor. We started going around, kind of checking out the other events. One thing I really did like is they have an interactive, the actual Halo. You go in and, like, it lets you kind of, like, mess around with the history of Halo itself, and kind of gives you an overarching tour of everything going on. And that's, like, all, again, interactive, big dark room where, like, it's pretty neat, to say the least. With VIP, it was really easy because we got in very quickly. Without VIP, people probably had to spend about 2 hours just to get into it. Again, it's more of like a AR kind of thing. Like, it was really intense and let you, like, visualize everything going on with the history of Halo. Again, not something crazy, but it was really fun. Anyway, moving on from there. Then they had Pelican Training. So, like, essentially you sit down in a seat. Like, it's like a big cargo container, and inside they decked it out to look like the inside of a Pelican. So you go inside, you strap into a chair, and then it's like the Pelican's going down, and you guys have to, like, you and everyone in the room have to kind of figure out how to get the Pelican back up and running. So everybody has to get up and start, like, pressing buttons and stuff on the wall and, like, make everything, like, okay, essentially, by following the instructions of the narrator who's talking to you over the intercoms. It was alright. I mean, it's, like, essentially being in a chair that, like, it wasn't anything special, is my point. And again, the line was insane for that. And here's the one thing that kind of gets me upset, is, like, there was a laser tag combat, it was a combat laser tag deck, where they had battle rifles shaped like laser tag guns. We got there at maybe 2:30, and by the time they closed the event, we weren't even able to get in and play. Like, it was so long of a line that we legitimately stood there for probably 2 hours, and we were not able to get in, and we're not able to play. And we were like, okay, this is ridiculous, we're leaving. Again, when I say the line was long enough that they closed the event at this, some of the people we were standing in line with were still, like, at the front of the line when me and Lindsay were, like, getting ready to leave. The exhibit was really cool. I'll be dead honest, if they really would have expanded the exhibit out and almost just made it like a museum, that would have been awesome. I would have totally fell for that, but it wasn't, and it was disappointing. 343 Industries is walking around and talking and greeting people, which was kind of cool. Talking to them was kind of difficult, unless you were either somebody important, which I don't know. Again, I didn't see who they were talking to, but, like, it was very difficult to interact with them. Or B, you were a VIP, which was kind of cool, because you kind of got, like, the VIP experience when you were inside the VIP lounge, which is the next thing I want to talk about, too. They had a VIP lounge, which consisted of, like, a big conference room, decked out with, like, 2, like, home-inspired console stations. Like, there was a big TV, 2 bookshelves next to it full of, like, Halo merch and stuff like that. And then some couches around it where, like, Halo 3 or the Master Chief Collection was set up. And then there was members of 343 there playing, which was awesome. Like, that was a freaking awesome experience. I didn't really get to talk to many of them because there was a lot of people in there and kind of crowding them. So, like, like, at least at the time I was in there was just a lot of people sitting around. But the developers of 343 seemed really nice from what I got to talk to. Like, again, I didn't catch names or anything like that, but the man I talked to for like a few minutes was very nice and very, very fun. I mean, it was a good time. And they had free snacks in there, they had free pop, they had the Halo Team Raven arcade shooters that you've seen in like arcades and stuff in there, set up for guests. So that was cool. They had like a private panel for VIP guests. We didn't end up staying long enough to see that. And here's where I'm kind of like again, the curtain like really lowered and like I kind of seen everything going on. So we get to the conference floor where they're supposed to have all their vendors. And I notice, I'm like, okay, there's like 4 vendors. All right. If you guys have ever been to a Comic-Con, there is like vendor city back and forth. Like, even if it's not comic convention, like it's like, you know, people selling their fairy arts or like their deviant arts or comic book artists or anything in between. So anyway, we're inside, we're looking around. We notice there's 4 vendors. So the first vendor I talked to is a Funko Pop collector. Here's where I kind of got a little upset. So part of being VIP was getting that Funko Pop, right? So I'm like, cool, like this is for VIP. If the experience itself didn't feel worth it, at least I would get that as like something that like made it feel exclusive. According to people that have been to that event or people that have been to the past event, they were already selling the Halo Funko Pops at the booth to anybody. So immediately I'm like here where I'm like, all right, that's kind of like, I'm like, this is awesome for being VIP, for paying this extra amount of money to, are you kidding me? Like, what's the point of getting this then if I could have bought it for like, I don't know. They didn't say how much it was. I assume normal Funko Pop price, which is like at the highest $15. So I'm like, cool. Okay. That's dumb. The merch stand was really cool. They had a lot of stuff there, ranging from t-shirts, jackets, like Master Chief helmets, energy swords, a lot of really interesting stuff. So I was like, cool, like, you know, I'll go there, I'll check out what they have. It was cool because you could like put your gamer tag or your like Halo Outpost app name on the shirts for an extra $20. And as I'm talking to that Funko Pop collector, he informs me that these are all the vendors. All 4 of them are the vendors. Like, that's it. That's all they have. So they have a giant space from the 4 vendors all the way to the other side where the food vendors are at. They had nothing else besides, like, their convention and then the 4 vendors, which, again, I mean, with VIP ticket, your experience is over in, like, an hour if you just go through what you can and avoid the giant lines because everything is packed. They had maybe 5 experiences that were like actually making it worth being there. But the problem is unless you were a VIP member, waiting to get into those things were like, I mean, you maybe got into 2 events. If the event was more free or maybe more like costed less money and the Funko Pop, you know, wasn't sold to everybody else that was already there, or like even if we got like a t-shirt instead or something that made it feel exclusive, but it didn't. And by the end of it, I could care less. And it just didn't, like, they gave us like an exclusive VIP like avatar item for our Microsoft accounts, but by then it just, the appeal wore off. The charm was gone. If you went to the Halo Outpost Discovery, let me know what you thought. I don't mean to, like, I love Halo, alright? Halo, one of the reasons I bought the ticket was not so I could be like, yeah, guys, look, I got an exclusive Funko Pop. Like, I really wanted that, granted. Like, I was very excited to have that, but the point was to go enjoy it for Halo. And by the end of the event, it just left a sour taste in my mouth, especially because the event is only in 5 separate places in the United States, and we paid money to travel out there. We paid money for a hotel. Or the whole trip was aimed towards going to this event. Chicago just happened to be a fun place that we were excited to visit anyway, so it was cool that we got to experience that. But my point is that for the future, you know, if you're going to plan these events, just give the people more stuff to do. Like, if you're going to have a VIP and people are going to pay more money, make it worth the more money. But like my channel, subscribe, do awesome things. If you do like the channel, that's awesome. If you don't, I'm sorry that I let you down. If you don't like this video, I apologize. It was just on my mind. I wanted to rant about it a little bit. So enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Go have fun. I'm gonna go. We're both short people. Ah! Patience, so won't you please